episode 3 of Spill the Tea. I hope you're all okay and managing to keep sane during lockdown, because I know it's definitely starting to get to me. But this week on Spill the Tea, we have the lovely and talented Jonny Meah on the show. So Jonny is a radio and TV presenter, and he is genuinely one of the most exciting young presenters in the industry, and he's already achieved so much. So we had a really fun chat, and we spoke about working with Brook, him nearly breaking up Take That, and also he obviously gives some amazing tips on becoming a presenter. So if you wanted to get into that industry, then this will be really, really helpful for you. So I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think in the comments box below. And also, if you have any ideas for upcoming guests for other weeks, obviously pop that there as well. And yeah, like I say, I hope you enjoy it, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.
Hello.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now.
Hey!
Oh God, that's loud. Hang on.
Not really loud. Oh, there you go. Definitely.
So obviously you've already been so successful, and you're 25?
Yes, 25.
Yeah.
Hanging on to that.
When did you first get into presenting?
So, firstly, thank you. I'm trying. Secondly, I've wanted to do presenting ever since I can remember. Like, I'd be the kid that would be playing football outside. Everyone else would go home to watch The Simpsons, and I'd go home and record a radio show in my back bedroom. Maybe it's because I was an only child. I don't know, but it was what I wanted to do, and it started off, doing it on just like a tape player, and it's really bad audio. My poor parents, they'd have to sit there on every car journey and then listen to this tape. That was probably absolutely awful. Probably stopping the music halfway through. But it really did give me a real love for it. And then, again, when I was about 11, 12, I just thought, because I've always been a little bit persistent, and I'm sure lots of my contacts would tell you that as well. I was always very persistent as a child. And, I messaged him, and one day I just thought, I'm going to message into Capital and say I want to be a presenter, not expecting really anything back. But the presenters probably thought, this will be a laugh. Some 11-year-old saying he wants to be a presenter. So Capital called me back and had a conversation with me on air. And, I think they were just thinking it was just going to be a bit of fun. And they're saying, so what do you want to be a presenter? And then I was like, oh, yeah, I do. And they're like, I think they said something along the lines of, we didn't know what we wanted to be when we were your age. We just sat there looking at Bob Marley posters or something like that. And I was like, oh, that's strange. There's me with my Brook poster, which obviously as an 11-year-old is just ridiculous. Also slightly strange that I ended up working with Kelly.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Which she doesn't know that, probably will now. But yeah, so anyway, from that, they kind of liked the banter and actually got me on to do a guest presenting show with them. So I was 12 and
that's insane.
So obviously that kind of grabs you in, and once someone gives you that opportunity, especially at that young age, it makes you, it really makes you hooked to it and thinks, you think there's a chance. And from then on, I just carried on going. And then as soon as I was 18, I was trying to do more TV stuff as well. And it's just the complete mixture of, perseverance, stubbornness, and also, people taking a chance on you, I guess.
Yeah.
But I would say to anyone that you can do it. I had no, family members, no friends that were in the industry. It's all based on your passion for it, and people like that. Like when people have messaged me now, I'm always really keen to kind of give them feedback if they want it, and if they're asking me to listen to their demo, because someone did it for me and it was a real help, and it got me to actually live the dream and do the radio show that I wanted to do. So really grateful to those people, really.
Yeah, and because I was going to say that was going to be my next question. Did you get into radio or TV through a family member or someone you know? Because I think people just have that misconception that that's how you can get in, and there's no other way of getting in unless you know someone.
And don't get me wrong, I think in many, many circumstances, especially as a presenter, there are individuals that have got in that way, and that's absolutely fine. And you know what, if you had that way in, then why wouldn't you take it?
Oh yeah.
But it's not the only way in, and it's really not. You have to give it that kind of that bit more perseverance and stubbornness, as I say. But it's not the only way in. And if you want it, it sounds so cliche. oh my gosh, I've been in lockdown too long to say that. If you
Motivational
want it,
quote.
yeah, if you want it, you'll get it. Put that in a quote for the. No, if you want it, you will get it, because if you want something enough, then you just keep on going and going, and trust me when I say there are so many. I'm nowhere near the finished article yet. Like there's no way. Like I am really relatively early on in hopefully what will be a longer career, I hope.
Sure.
But yeah, I hope. But I get no's to this day, and it's just part of the industry, really, that you will get loads of no's, but for every no, just use that as motivation for your final yes.
And did you work, so you had your own drive time show at Hart Kent.
Yeah.
How did you build up to that? Did you go to another station before that? Did you do uni radio? Because I know a lot of people get into it that way.
It's a great way in. As I say, I was recording things in my bedroom from 12 up to 18, and that got me in with LBC. A great guy called Jonathan Richards actually kind of took me under his wing and let me see how a radio station worked at LBC, and he let me do things like interview proper celebrities, which when you're like a 15, 16 year old, you're like, oh my god, I'm getting to do this. So it'd be like Mo Farah before he became a world champion, blah blah blah, but he was the nicest guy ever. And it was just little things like that kept your spirit ignited for these things. And so I did lots of kind of work experience that was all unpaid, but you've got to do, when you're 15, 16, it doesn't matter as such. There's other ways to make money, like a paper round or something, but he gave me a shot, and just from there it's kind of building your network of contacts up, and as I say, I didn't know any of these people beforehand. It was just a case of me sending in demos the whole time to producers, and half the time producers would be like, oh, I'll pass it over to this guy now, and back then you're thinking, oh great, they showed it to everyone, but really now I know what it's like. You're
it's
like,
not good.
Pass it to this guy because this guy's getting on my nerves right now. but yeah, so it was always kind of a way in with that lot, I guess, but it didn't guarantee a job. So when I started at uni, I started doing the uni radio there. I did all of that, and again, it's just about keeping all your shows and keeping all your things that you do, whether it's uni radio, whether it's local radio, what there is of it still. It's just about everything you do. Keep hold of it and then use it. Get yourself a little demo of it and then send it off to everyone. It doesn't matter what stage of your career you're at. You need up-to-date audio, same in TV footage, to show what you can do. That's your CV in a way. That's your LinkedIn. You don't need a LinkedIn profile. You need a good, strong show reel. So yeah, that, in answer to your question, it was kind of a mixture of that. And then straight out of uni, I was lucky enough to meet a guy called Mark Goodyear, who was an old 80s or 90s, he's going to tell me off which one it was, but radio superstar, unbelievable. And to this day, he's a really, really great radio presenter, and someone that I can look to because he's had such a long career in it. And he was like, well, have you thought of approaching Heart? And I thought, because of my age, straight out of uni, I was like, oh, back then they were doing the 80s stuff as well. And I thought, oh, they won't touch me though. I've always wanted, and truth be told, Heart was where I always wanted to be, but I just thought they'll never have me. But I did a demo, and they liked it, and they put me on a cover show in Hart Kent, and that was kind of my first ever proper radio gig, straight out of uni. And I did a cover show, and next thing I knew, I was on Saturday afternoons, and then a couple of months down the line, I was on drive time. So it all just really spiraled very quickly. What would be your top tips for putting together a show reel or a demo reel for radio or TV? So the main things for me would be, it would be keep it 3 to 4 minutes. Make sure you're in from the start of your really interesting stuff, and be true to who you are. And the fourth and final thing is think of who you're sending it to. Yeah. So as I say, even the other day, I had a chat with BBC Three, and I think I can say that on here. But I had a chat with BBC Three. Nothing's happened. Big reveal. Yeah. Signed, sealed, not delivered. But yeah, no, I had a chat with BBC Three, and they were saying that the show I sent in they really liked, and he was able to see through it and things like that. But it wasn't quite what they would like. He said I would have preferred to have seen a documentary of just your documentary stuff, because that's what it was for, was documentary stuff. So now off the back of that, I've learned that actually, okay, so if I'm sending it just for purely documentary, just send my documentary stuff. So again, I'm going to make a new show reel now with just my documentary in. So not even the BBC stuff, just my best bits from the documentary, to tailor it to who you're sending it to.
Someone asked, do you prefer radio, TV, or live presenting? Because obviously you've done the stuff at Wembley Arena as well.
I get asked that one a lot, actually. It's really hard because I'm a radio boy at heart. Like I
literally.
Excuse the pun. But I'm a radio boy, and I love that. And you know, there's something so personal about radio. TV, whenever I do it, I get a buzz. It's like, oh my god, I'm doing what you know, what I've always wanted to do. But live events, like live hosting, I just get such a buzz off that. And it's the one thing that you miss when you're in the studio, whether that's radio or TV, that you really miss that live feedback. You know, like, it's just stupid. You can be in Wembley and you point at something and then suddenly everyone screams and you're just like, what the?
Who's your favourite interviewee?
Oh, my favourite one.
I could ask for your worst, so that was pretty nice.
Yeah, no, let's go. Yeah. Do I have to drink? I've got vodka in, and I haven't really. In terms of kind of the one that's most memorable for me, would be my first proper interview, which was with Mo Farah, which was just, as I said earlier, which was just great. He was, you know, you had all of these proper journalists there, and then you had little 15-year-old me there, and he gave me exactly the same time of day, if not more, than any of the others.
You and Kelly Brook were brilliant on Heart Breakfast. Was it breakfast?
Oh,
yeah. What was she like?
She was the best, to put it. She's so lovely. She is, you know, I had no idea that Kelly was going to be coming on. I mean, I was drive time presenter. I was covering Heart Breakfast for a week. And I got called into my boss's office and he went, oh, just so you know, you're not doing Heart Breakfast on your own anymore. And I thought, well, actually, first of all, I thought he was going to tell me I was fired. So I was a bit like, because it was a very serious, like, come into the room.
Yeah.
And then he told me that I wouldn't be doing it on my own. So I was thinking, okay, who's the new person? That's great. And then he said, you'll be doing it with Kelly. And I was like, who's Kelly? He was like, Kelly Brook. Yeah, I was like, he was like, Kelly Brook. I was like, oh yeah, okay, all right, whatever. But she did. She came down to Whitstable. She'd never done radio in her life before. And she just smashed it. She was absolutely brilliant. And, you know, you've always got, again, you've got these preconceived worries and stuff where people, and a lot of the time it's, you know, maybe management and stuff that put that into people's ideas, because that's what people usually deal with, management. And I think a lot of people worried at how Kelly would be, but she was the nicest and is the nicest woman in the industry.
Did you tell her that you had a poster of her in your bedroom?
Did not mention.
So maybe this is going to be the time to tell her.
It did not come up. It did not. You know, it was one of those things that we were like debating, is that what you say when, or does that come across too fanboy? And to this day, it's just never come up. But
okay.
yeah.
Well, exclusive.
Fantastic. There you go, Kelly. Fantastic.
Okay. Oh, this one's quite weird. Okay. You have such a nice voice. Do you like hearing it as much as I do?
Thank you, Mum. Wow, thank you. No, I don't like it. Like, people say you must get used to it, but you don't get used to it really. You kind of, I find myself when I listen back to things, when I watch things back, like I probably will to this, and I find myself going, "Shut up, Jonny, shut up." Like,
really?
Yeah, I just like I don't think there's ever a time where you kind of like, you can appreciate when you've done something cool and good and whatever. And I'm not saying you should be like, oh, that's awful, or your voice, but it's just the way I am. I'm just like, like it's like hearing it. I'm like, there was a lot of times where because I did the demos and they used to automatically save to my iTunes. So I learned early on at uni never to actually, because they used to come to me and they go, oh, can you do the music for this pre-drinks? And I'd be like, yeah, cool, whatever. And I had to change my phone and do it on a different thing because I had my demos on the same phone. So we'd be all like just chilling, talking, having a drink, having fun. And then suddenly it'd be me on a really rubbish pretend demo, just talking. And probably there's some from when I'm like 13. So there's like some that I just haven't got around to deleting. So it's like a high-pitched Jonny. pre-drinks party not fun. So in
Top
answer to your
tip.
question, yeah, top tip, don't have it on your phone if you're playing it at parties. But yeah, no, in answer to your question, thank you very much. But yeah, I don't yeah, I don't
Yeah.
get it. But thank you.
So this is a mixture of ones that I put together and ones that people have sent in as well. So we'll do a quick fire round. Okay.
All right, quick fire.
What's the
Ready?
weirdest thing you've received from a fan?
Some of them I won't say. There's been some weird ones. There's been some really strange ones. Really strange. Especially when I was at Heart Kent. The weirdest one.
Go on, tell us.
Funny. Okay, the most funny one, which was also incredibly weird, was I did this video for Heart Kent. This is back when they did kind of the 80s stuff on the main channel. And I did something to do with Lionel Richie. And this fan club of Lionel Richie loved it so much that I won a competition I didn't enter. And I got sent loads of Lionel, like, goodie stuff. I've still got something. Wait, stare.
It's like you had this prepared.
Yeah, I know. Genuinely didn't. I saw it the other day. And I was like, where has that come from? So I'm talking beer coasters. I'm talking keychains, all with Lionel's face on it.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
That's actually quite cool.
Is it though? Is it?
In like a.
And it's got Las Vegas on it. I'll take that to Tesco's.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, it's funny. I came across that yesterday, and I was like, "Why is that in my cupboard?" So yeah, that's got to be up there.
Most awkward celebrity encounter.
So there's one time. This isn't kind of like an interview, but this was an encounter that was pretty awkward. So when I was doing work experience at LBC and stuff, it was at around the time when Take That were getting back together with Robbie, and for a little. And we had a little chat in the, well, which you're not meant to do, but I was, like 14, 15 at the time, and I was excited. I saw Robbie and Gary Barlow, and they're just in the corridor, and I said, "Oh, how you doing? Like, big fan, whatever." Like, really cringe. And I was just like, "Oh yeah, big fan." They're like, "Oh, all right, nice one, thanks." Basically, Robbie went, something along the lines of, "Do you prefer me in the band or without? Do you prefer it with me in the band or without?" Like, just as a joke. And I was like, "Oh yeah, much better within the band." To which Gary was like, "Oh, cheers." And then those two started having, and I thought they were genuinely having an argument. They were just bantering, but like I thought and I just thought, I'm just joking. And they were like, yeah, literally, I thought I'd Take That to break up. So that was pretty awkward.
Okay, if you could do any other job, what would it be?
Ooh. Do you know what? Actually, I've got a straight up answer for this. Chef. I would
nice.
love to be a chef. Like that would. Do you know what? Cooking programs would have been spot on for me. I would have loved that. I've definitely cooked and eaten a lot through lockdown.
Yeah, I feel you.
Like literally, and without there being a gym, it's not a good combo. But that's the one thing that's come from the lockdown is that I've been able to, because the industry's really died down. The media industry's really died down. So work-wise, it's been very, very quiet. So it's given me a chance to do more cooking, which I really just enjoy doing.
Favorite type of food?
Seafood.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
Can't stand it.
No. You wouldn't have like some crab and.
Oh
no. Oh
no.
Gag reflex. That is never good. That or Italian. Italian.
Yeah, Italian. I can vouch for you on that one. Okay, first place you're going after lockdown, and don't tell me a seafood restaurant.
First place, probably to my parents. My dad's got a big birthday coming up, so spend some proper time where I don't have to. I've been seeing them and doing bits and pieces for them and getting shopping and stuff, but actually being able to give them a hug and stuff, that'd be nice. And then go and get smashed up at a club. No, it's really sentimental to that. No, and then go for a good night out with friends. That's I can't wait for that.
Cannot wait. I'm slightly terrified of the state I'll be in. Okay, this is quite a nice one to kind of round it off, I think. What would be your best tip for aspiring presenters trying to get into the game that might think this is a dream that's never going to happen?
Going off what you've just said, you don't know if it's not going to happen until you've tried, and then don't stop trying. and then just keep going. That it sounds so cliche, and it really does sound cliche, but the truth of the matter is, if you keep going and you keep going, some door will open up for you. And it's, when I say keep going, I don't mean just keep, hassling people. I mean, keep perfecting your skills. When it comes to radio, everything's content in a way, unless it's some really horrible, depressing story. But, say you went to the park and, you got, or for example, in uni once, that was, I saw someone get mugged by a seagull. 2 came in and swooped. Like, naturally you just think it's funny and leave it, but then suddenly that's content for your student radio show or something like that. So anything that happens, and you don't have to try and be funny, because I'm not naturally very funny. So you don't have to try, as you can tell. So, you don't have to try and be funny, just be yourself. If you're true to yourself throughout the whole way through, you will get there a lot quicker, because you'll eventually get found out if you try and be something you're not. So whatever you do, don't go in trying to be something. So don't go in trying to be Dermot O'Leary. Don't go in trying to be Philip Schofield. Go in as yourself. And because no one else can do that. That's the truth of the matter, is no one can be Emily. No one can be Jonny apart from those people, or very good impressionists. So I would say be true to yourself and don't stop.